Here's our cpctc video. Already right here, I talked to you about a congruent statement. So here's a congruent statement. Angle A is first. It must be equal to angle D because it's first. Angle B is marked second, so angle E is marked second. Those two letters must be in the same, or both be in the middle. Don't worry about what cpctc means. If you want to know, it means corresponding parts. Oh, don't worry about that because I don't have any parts. So that goes here, corresponding parts of congruent triangles. I've already started it, so I might as well finish it. Are congruent. You don't have to memorize that. That's not going to be on the test. Just in case you wanted to have it. All right, so let's learn how to read a congruent statement. So let's identify the congruent angles and congruent sides. Okay, how do you identify the angles? Is you go by order. First angle from the first triangle is J. So angle J is going to be equal to angle P. Based on that congruent statement, those two angles must be the same. That means K is in the middle. It must be equal to Q. It's not alphabetic order. It's the order in which the letters are in the statement. Angle L is last, so it's congruent to angle R. So if you understand that, then I would say if angle J is 80, angle P is, you would say 80. Sides. So the first two letters make a side. JK is going to be equal to the first two letters on the second one, PQ. So those sides are equal. KL are the second two set of letters. KL, they're congruent to the second two letters is QR. And so how do you identify the third and final side that's equal? Is you take the first and third letters. So J and L is congruent to P and R. All right, so based on this, I know J is equal to P, so that means J and P has to be in the same location. I know K and Q are equal to each other. I know L and R are equal to each other. So you have to know how to write a congruent statement that's equal. So watch how I write this. Let's say I want to name that first triangle. I'm going to rearrange those letters. Let's say I'm going to use K, J, L. Why did I do that? It's because I just wanted to pick a different order than what was up there. So how do I finish this? Is I basically go in the same exact order on the second picture. Or on the second step. So if I started at K, where would I start over here? There it is, Q. Then I went to J, so that means I have to go to P, and then I have to finish at R. So how do you write a congruent statement? Is on the first triangle, you just pick any order you want, but on the second triangle, you have to follow that same pattern. It's a path. All right. So, using a congruent statement to find some missing pieces. So today's notes is no algebra. It's just using the congruent statement to figure something out. So look at this picture I have for number 4. We got to find the length. So we're finding measures. That means these are going to be numbers. When it says find the missing measure, that means your answers are going to be numbers. Anybody know what BN should be based on the congruent statement? Well, let me show you. BN should be 9. All right, because look at this. BN is the first and third letter. Therefore, WS has to be equal to that because they're the first and third letter. That's how that works. Okay? Now, look at BF. BF is the first 2 letters. That means it has to go with ST. So both of those are 17 because they're in the same position on the congruent statement. And therefore, I only have one side left. And these 2 sides must be congruent. So TW is also 14. So there's my sides. And I color-coded it. I hope it was kind of easy to follow. So let me erase this to show you the angles. Now, before I even get into the questions, I already know this. B and S must be the same. They're both the first letters. So both are 67. F and T are the same, but look at this. F and T are both blank. So I don't know what they are yet. And W and N are the last 2 letters. They have to be the same, so I know W is 82. So how in the world am I going to find F and T? They're both blank. Anybody know? So someone said in class, to find this angle, I know this triangle must add up to 180. So I'm simply going to do some math. 180 minus 67 and minus 82. And that number will be F and T since those triangles are congruent. So 180 minus 67 minus 82. So F is 31. And since these 2 triangles are congruent, that makes T 31. And then I could just fill all those answers over here and be done. All right, we're going to move on to the next picture. If you're watching a video, you can just pause. I'm going to blow this up, though. All right, so check this out. Look at that. Look at these triangles. Let's go ahead and just find some missing sides. LN is 21. Those are the first 2 letters. That means AC is 21, the first 2 letters. So I now know that's going to be 21. So how do I find those 2 missing sides? Does anybody know what those missing sides should be, the other missing sides? They should be 13. This is an isosceles triangle. These two sides are equal. We've talked about isosceles triangles. Now wait a minute. Both these triangles are equal. So if this one over here is isosceles, this one has to be isosceles. So all these red sides are all equal. If one triangle is isosceles, the other one has to be isosceles. They're both equal triangles. So therefore, I have to go in and put this information in. If this bottom one's 13, this has to be 13. Since these two triangles are equal, both triangles have to have two sides of 13. So there you have to pay attention to isosceles triangles. You remember base angles and vertex angles? Look at this. This is the vertex angle. That means the other two are equal. So that means this is 29. So the interior sum of this triangle is 180. So 180 minus 29 twice. I have this triangle as 122. Now, this triangle has to be the same, so therefore this is 29, this is 29, and this is also 122. My pen isn't working too well. So that's how the puzzle works. I'll stop that one right there, because this is there's no algebra in this one. The other next one's algebra.